All right, hey everyone. This is Nate. I'm going to go a little bit of details about this drawbridge on the castle playhouse. I have other videos that go into details of the rest of the castle. I want to talk about how do you make a drawbridge, and I'll have more videos out there. Feel free to subscribe, and if you have any questions or want more videos, let me know in the comments, and I'll get to that. So for the drawbridge, I wanted something unique and special, but I also wanted it to be pretty simple. So this is basically just a rectangle built out of 2x4s with plywood over the top, and then on the outside face it matches the rest of the castle, which is just the deck board. All right, so for the cabling, I bought the vinyl coated cable. You know, this is just a little bit nicer. It keeps any kind of little stray splinters away from the kids if they were to grab it, and it makes it more visible. I don't want someone to get clothesline as they run across. In the door itself is these screw eye hooks, and each one just goes directly into the 2x4. And you can see the cable I bought, and I bought this from Home Depot. It already had these little quick disconnects on there, so I'm able to quickly disconnect it if I needed to. Now let's go inside and kind of see how it works in here. So in here, what I did is I installed an overhead hoist. So if you come and look up here, the hoist is actually a garage hoist that is an overhead hoist that is 440-pound lifting capacity, and it's a 110. So it's basically a winch, but it's a 110 winch. And I bought that online, just at Amazon. It's just a cheap one. I think lots of places have them. Harbor Freight, Northern Tool. And so if you look at it, it has the cables. It has a snatch blocks here with a hook, and then that goes to the other ends of the cables that go to the door. So I had to put this all the way up front in order to have enough movement to get the door all the way closed. So as you can see up here, we have 2 pulleys on the front that turns the cable 180 and gets it going backwards towards the camera. And then up here is another pulley to get it turned over this edge. And there's another pulley here that gets it to go down to the door. So, there's 6 pulleys, 3 per each cable. And these are just like 1.5-inch pulleys. They're $4 at Home Depot. I couldn't find them in the store. I had to buy them online to get them delivered, but those are $25. This overhead hoist was $80 on Amazon, and then we have the different attachments down there. We have the cabling. We have the hinges on the door. So the door bottom hinges down here. These are actually just gate hinges. And I'll close the door and show you guys what it looks like from the outside. But these are just simple gate hinges. They're $15 or whatnot. And typically they would be horizontal, but I obviously turned them so they were vertical. Okay, let's show it how it works. Come on out here. Okay, one other thing. This is the controller that came with the overhead hoist, and I cut it off of the was hardwired onto that hoist unit, and I cut it off, and then I added a 4-prong connector. This is a 20 amp 4-prong 220 outlet thing, and they make them for both the male and female version. So I was able to hardwire 2 female ones, one here and then one inside on the ceiling. So I have 2 places I can take this controller and plug it in, and then I have an easy way to control it. The other thing I like about it is up high. So my kid, so my daughter that right now is 3, she's not big enough to plug this in, and I can also take this with me because one point is there is no safety on here other than the lifting capacity of the hoist. So you could get fingers and limbs stuck in here. So you gotta be a little bit cognizant of that. I have it set up so that when it closes, right when it closes is when the pulley snatch block hits the automatic stop. So you can't over close it, but in this case you could over open it and unwind the winch pulley some. So that's something that a little bit of a downside of this. The way you could fix that was You could add some limit switches into here that would flip and cut power to it. All right, so the way I built it was I had the 2x4 frame, as I mentioned, and then we have the plywood sheet, and I built all that first and made sure it was all square. And you obviously make it undersized, so I had at least a 1/2 inch gap on the sides and the top. For the bottom, the trick to it is I built that frame and then I set it in inside this opening, and then I clamped the sides centered to the door frame. And then in the bottom I had little shims. So the shims in the bottom had the door raised up in the right position. And then when I did that, I was able to attach the hinges down here, and everything was square for the door frame because I had already built it and put the 2x4 and the plywood on it. And then by having the shims down there on the floor, I knew that the door would be just off the floor and it wouldn't hit the floor and interfere. So that's kind of a quick trick to get that all set up. And then I finished putting all the exterior deck board on it. Okay, so now I'll show it going out. Okay, so here you can see the gate hinges, and again, simple gate hinges. On the inside of here is the 2x4 framing member that makes up the rectangle for the door, and it was pretty simple.